Welcome back to Under the Tights, powered by the one and only Heroes Comics here in Fresno at Shaw and Highway 41. I'm Rash from 105.1 The Blaze, and today we're talking about the Justice League movie because it comes out in 1 week. 1 week from tonight, as a matter of fact, if you're watching this on Thursday. Justice League will be in theaters, all your favorite DC superheroes, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, The Flash, that other guy. And that's who we're going to talk about today. Cyborg is that other guy, and if you don't know who that is, don't worry about it, don't sweat it. He hasn't been around too long, and he really hasn't been a quote-unquote founding member of the Justice League for long at all. He first developed in the early 1980s. Matter of fact, I think the first appearance of Cyborg was in the 1980s. Victor Stone is the son of, well, there's actually two different origin stories. The original Cyborg origin story was that Victor Stone was the parent of two like super scientists, super government secret science guys that work on things that you and I are not ever privy to. And they did a lot of experimentation and tests on him and turned him into this kind of living computer known as Cyborg. They then modified that storyline more recently, I think in the early 2000s, to make Victor Stone a very successful collegiate athlete. I think he was a football player, but his dad, who was this still super scientist nerd guy, never had the time of day for him and didn't care about his achievements. And one day after a big-time football game that his dad doesn't show up to, Victor goes to confront his father about never being there for him. His father working at this super secret government facility, and an accident occurs involving a piece of alien technology that his dad was working on, and the accident just destroys Victor, all but kills him, annihilates his body. He's on this all kinds of life support systems. His dad then feels super guilty that this has happened to his son, who he obviously didn't care enough about to pay attention while he was healthy. Never came to my games, Dad. Then decides he's going to use his experiments and that alien tech that he's been working on to bring his son back to life and repair him, turning him into a supercomputer known as Cyborg. The idea behind Cyborg and his powers is actually really, really cool. Like I said, developed in the 1980s when technology was really starting to kind of take over our everyday lives. I mean, you think about where we are today, from our cell phones to the internet, everything you do in life right now is connected in some way, shape, or form to some piece of technology. So the idea behind Cyborg is, what if you had a superhero whose power was literally to control all of that? Any piece of tech he can hack into and control, not only control it, but operate it as if it's part of him. I mean, he can kind of take it over. He has some shape-shifting abilities with his, with his body because it's mostly mechanic, but his real power is to be able to just absorb all kinds of technology. No kind of security system can keep him out. There's no piece of any kind of operating machinery that he can't just sit down and automatically be able to control. Even Batman's tech stands no chance against Cyborg. So when you realize that that's his power in today's day and age, he becomes an incredibly powerful superhero, which is why in 2011 they moved him from the Teen Titans, which is kind of like the sidekick version of the Justice League, kind of like the B team of the Justice League, to the official Justice League. Because like, wow, Superman, Batman, this guy that controls computers is kind of right in that area now. And that's why since 2011 he's been a quote-unquote founding member of the Justice League. And yeah, with Rebirth they've kind of changed how the League came to form, and now he's, through the story, been there all along, which we all know isn't true. So if you're watching those previews and you're looking at the characters that you know and wondering, well, who is this Cyborg character? Now you know. So when you go see the movie next week, you can impress all your friends or that girl you're bringing, who I guarantee you doesn't know who that is, and you can give her the backstory on Cyborg, and she'll be super impressed. Or she'll think you're a complete nerd and never call you back. It's a gamble. It really is. It really is a risk. I'm very excited for the movie, though. Like I said, it comes out next week in theaters. Make sure you get to Heroes Comics on Shaw and Highway 41. It's the only place I go when it comes to books. All kinds of new stuff out this week. You got a new Batman storyline that's brand new. You got a brand new Daredevil storyline that's out this week. There's also a Justice League of America story that's out, since we're talking about that. So get into Heroes, check it out. Tell Dave I said hi. Make your comments down here, and we'll see you next week when the movie comes out. Thanks for listening.